everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the 2025 Silesia Diamond League, where every second counts and every finish could make history. We're talking about a meet that's not just another stop on the Diamond League calendar. This is where statements are made, scores are settled, and reputations are cemented. There are 26 events slated for tomorrow's meet. Some of the events will include, at 9:30 a.m., the men's pole vault. Armando Mondo Duplantis isn't just chasing his 14th world record, he's redefining what's humanly possible in the event. Every jump he takes has the potential to push the sport's limits further than anyone can or could imagine. Then we go 9:40 a.m., the men's 110 meters hurdles final. World champion Grant Holloway, with a season best of 13.11, faces serious challenges from Cordell Tinch from the USA at 12.87, and Jamaica's Orlando Bennett, whose season's best is 13.1 this year. This isn't just about speed. One bad hurdle clearance could swing the entire race. 10:35 a.m., the women's 100 meters hurdles final. A stacked field. All 9 women have clocked under 13 seconds this season. Early favorites include Alicia Johnson, Akira Nugent from Jamaica, and Toby Amirsan from Nigeria. Any stumble, and the medals will change hands in the blink of an eye. And then we come to what I'd like to focus on today, the 2 key feature events, which in most athletic events are the favorite events and the most important events on the calendar for any meet, the men's and women's 100 meters final. 10:58 a.m., it's the men's 100 meters final. This is a showdown everyone has been waiting for since the last year's Olympics. Kishane Thompson of Jamaica, Noah Lyles of the US, and not to be forgotten, Kenny Bednarek of the US. 3 of the fastest men in the world this year, all on the same start line. Thompson and Lyles are locked in one of track and field's most electric rivalries, separated by just 0.005 seconds at the Paris Olympics final. Bednarek, he's the wild card, a man in red-hot form with the U.S. title and something to prove. Silesia isn't just another race for these men. It's unfinished business. Let's flash back to the men's 100-meter final at last year's Olympics. It was the stuff made of legends. Kishane Thompson of Jamaica exploded out of the blocks. Noah Lyles of the US clawed back in the last 40 meters, and at the line, it was too close to call. The official times rounded up to 3 digits: 9.784 for Lyles, 9.789 for Thompson. A margin so small, it had to be measured to the thousandth of a second. Lyles took gold, Thompson silver, and the rivalry was born. Now, months later, they're back on the same track with the same things at stakes: pride, bragging rights, and the psychological edge going into the World Championships. But don't leave out Bednarek. Kenny Bednarek enters Silesia with his best ever season. At the U.S. Championship in Eugene, Oregon, he stunned everyone with a personal best of 9.79 to take the U.S. 100 meters title, tying him as the 6th fastest man in American history. Then, subsequently, he lined up for the 200 meters and pushed Noah Lyles all the way to the line, clocking 19.67 to Lyles' 19.63. What happened next made headlines. Bednarek gave Lyles a push in the aftermath, clearly unhappy with losing. It wasn't just competition, it was personal. And this energy is coming with him to Silesia. Now let's go to Kishane Thompson, just 24 years old. Thompson has already run the world's leading 100-meter time of 9.75 this season, achieved at the Jamaica Championship. His start is blistering, but with fewer races under his belt compared to his American rivals, the question is whether he has the race sharpness to hold off a late surge from Lyles or Bednarek in the final 20 meters. And in fact, if you did watch the race at the Olympics, you could see him losing his form as he got closer to the finish line, and I believe that cost him the race. Now let's go to Noah Lyles and his current form, which has been somewhat spotty in the 100. He has raced the 100 meters sparingly in 2025, but make no mistake about it, he's still the man to beat when it matters most, as he proved at the Olympics. His 200 meters win at the US trials in 19.63 is still the fastest in the world this year. He started this season slowly, had some injuries, but he's coming on. And he has the unique ability to perform his best in high-pressure situations, making him dangerous in any final, regardless of his form going into that race. Now, if we look at the men's stakes at the meet in Silesia coming up, for Thompson, it's about redemption. For Lyles, it's about cementing his supremacy. For Bednarek, it's about earning respect and rewriting the narrative. With Oblique Seville absent, the race also opens up the door for an outsider to disrupt the podium. In Jamaica, they'd say this about a race like this. I can't wait. Now let's transition to the women's 100 meters. If the men bring the fire, the women's bringing the lightning. Sha'Carri Richardson, the reigning world champion and Olympic silver medalist, brings star power and swagger. Melissa Jefferson, the USA champion and Olympic bronze medalist, has been the most consistent sprinter of 2025. The Jamaican Clayton twins are depth and proven pedigree to be considered as maybe upsetters for this race. And let's not forget, Maria Jose Tolu remains as fast and as fearless as ever, and Dina Asher-Smith's name still commands respect. But the big headline, Olympic champion Julien Alfred, will not be here, and the whispers are that she's avoiding the stacked field. Now, to make sense of Alfred's absence, I reflect upon a recent interview I had with Leighton Levy, one of the most respected track analysts in the game. His insights for me, as you will hear from this excerpt from the interview, cuts through the speculation and sheds light on what her decision might mean for the rest of the season and the psychological warfare leading into the Worlds. Your thoughts on, well, two questions. Your thoughts on the upcoming World Championship. Who's going to be, to you, the biggest star, and normally comes from the sprints in that, and would it be a Jamaican?
It could be a Jamaican, but it could also be a St. Lucian.
Also be a US too. Given how she's running.
Yeah, listen. Look, Melissa Jefferson has been remarkable this year, and if she wins a double in Tokyo, I would not be surprised. However, at the very start of this year, I said I'm going with Julien Alfred, and I'm sticking with Julien Alfred. Why? Because I think everything that Melissa Jefferson has done so far, I think Julien Alfred is still capable of doing, and probably even better as well. 9.65. When I ran the 10.75 and 10.77 in Oregon into a minus 1.5 wind, that basically was a basic time of about 10.67 and 10.65 and 10.67 for both women. That means they are already in 10.6 shape. I do know for a fact that on that particular day, at that particular week, Julien Alfred came into that meet with heavy legs, because she did legs on the Tuesday and she did some heavy leg work during the course of the week leading up to that race. I was told prior to that race that don't expect her to emerge from the blocks as she usually does. And that's exactly what happened. And she still ran 10.77. Now, I don't know what Melissa Jefferson did. So maybe she did the same thing.
Right.
What I'm saying is that while Melissa Jefferson has been extremely outstanding, because what a lot of people don't realize, if Melissa Jefferson had run with the same wind that the men ran with just moments before, just minutes before, when the wind was 1.8 meters per second, that's not with a 10.57.
Wow.
Right? So she's already ready to run 10.5, because Kenny's 9.7 and wind was 1.8. Melissa Jefferson was 0.4.
She's explosive. Yeah, she's explosive.
And her phases are really, really good. So,
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she wins 100 in Tokyo or even the 200. But I still think there's something in my craw that says Julien Alfred is going to win that double. And I'm sticking with it. I'm going to stick with it until the very end. Because I do believe that when Melissa beat her, I think Julien is running angry now, and she's looking for the opportunity to redeem herself.
As Leighton has indicated, he believes Alfred has what it takes to win the World Championship, but he's not discounting Melissa Jefferson, who has been in sparkling form. Now, will Sha'Carri reassert herself as queen of the sprints? Is Jefferson hitting her peak at just the right time? Has she peaked and will not have enough left at the World Championship? Can the Clayton twins uphold Jamaica's proud sprinting tradition? They have been stellar performers since their days at Jamaica's high school championship. And could Tolu or Asher Smith spring a surprise? Tolu has run very well this year so far, but never really produces in the big races. This isn't about just winning here, though. It's about setting the tone for the battles to come in Tokyo. Now, let's talk about predictions. If you're betting on the men, Thompson's form says he's the favorite. But Lyles' big race experience and Bednarek's confidence makes this a genuine three-way fight. On the women's side, Jefferson is the one to beat on paper and in terms of performance this year. But Sha'Carri's ability to rise in big moments and the Clayton twins' potential for explosive performances means nothing is guaranteed. People, mark August 16th on your calendar in bold. That's tomorrow, starting early, Eastern Standard Time. Because when those guns start firing in Silesia, when those starting guns fire in Silesia, in Poland, you want to say you saw it live. And drop your predictions in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I can't wait.